One of the prevailing myths or misconceptions about being a beginner who has never really played the guitar is that that beginner should start out with a guitar pick, that you should avoid playing with your fingers or your thumb or a combination of those two things, that you really ought to start with a pick because it's better and it has more advantages over the fingers. There are some very famous YouTube instructors who, in their videos, advocate that. I find that completely, absolutely false. I'm not sure why they never really put it into any context. They sort of just talk about it as one broad brush that should apply to all guitar players. For some players, yes, perhaps playing with a pick is the right choice in the beginning, but it should be determined based on a couple things. One is what kind of style or styles of music is the player really gravitating towards? If the tendency is to want to play more fingerstyle music, whether it's flamenco or classical guitar or Brazilian music or something that generally is fingerstyle, then probably going with a guitar pick in the beginning and developing that technique is not the optimal way to go. So if that's the case, then you would want to start and to develop your right hand fingerstyle playing, not with a pick, because they're very different. And even if the player is actually not interested in those other genres that are typically associated with fingerstyle playing, you could still be interested in rock or any other genre, jazz, blues, whatever, and still not use a guitar pick and still prefer the sound and the feel of the thumb or the fingers, or even maybe using finger picks or growing your nails out and using a little bit of that. So it's misleading, to say the least, if you're going to be a guitar instructor and you're going to tell a student who's a beginner, oh no, you really should start with a pick. That's utter nonsense. A lot of times those players will advise those guitar students to play with a pick, mostly because they don't know how to play fingerstyle. They've never developed it, and they don't feel comfortable teaching it. In other cases, they may just be speaking out of their own ignorance. But whatever the case may be, it's not true that if you're a beginner guitar player that you ought to start with a guitar pick because it's better in some way, shape, or form. It's not better or worse. It's just a matter of you should gravitate towards the style and the feel that really inspires you to play most.